What's the cruelest prank you've ever seen? Friend of mine had a crush on his coworker. It was sort of an open secret. His manager tried to help him. Offered advice. Some things to say. Small gifts she might be into. Etc. What no one knew at the time was that said manager and said coworker had recently started dating and hadn't told anyone yet. So he meant it as a prank on his new girlfriend to be put into these awkward situations. But my friend's feelings were really hurt when it all came out. A group of girls at my high school told a girl that they were hanging out at one of their houses at 9 near a train station. But they really just made up a time and place that would make her stranded at the last train stop with no more trains home. In middle school, a girl came up to us on the playground and told this dude to go see the principal. He's looking for you, he got a call that your mom died. Then as soon as the dude ran away, she told us all she just made it up. It was fucking horrible. Saw a guy tip over the porta potty with someone in it. That memory is clear. I think it was his GF. A friend of a friend in high school had her boyfriend pretend that he died. He had one of his friends call her saying he had died in a car accident and had someone else calling up pretending to be a doctor from the hospital. She was hysterical. Later that day, after she kept asking the fake doctor which hospital it was so she could be there, she found out it was all prank to see if she cared. Horrible. Anyway, they broke up. To this day it's the nastiest prank I've seen in person. Someone asked a guy to be her boyfriend. He said yes, and the next day she invited all her friends to tell him that she did it as a joke. In college. At the end of the year, a club I was in had a roast of the outgoing seniors. My friend running the roast couldn't come up with anything for one of the guys. Let's call him Ben. To drum up ideas. He called a bunch of Ben's close friends, also in the club, and asked them for things to make fun of Ben about. Thinking this was a confidential conversation, they proceed to absolutely lay into Ben. The guy is seriously lame. Honestly. When I'm talking to a girl and he is there. It is supremely awkward. My friend simply recorded that whole conversation and played it outright for Ben's section of the roast, mortifying Ben and all his friends simultaneously. Prank war going on in between two houses that were next to each other in San Diego. CA circa 2014. My cousin lived in one of the houses and this happened when I went to visit him a few years back. House number 1 pulled a prank that led to a member in house number 2 being late for his first day of work. It was collateral damage, but the guy ended up getting fired for it. Guy who lost his job came home furious. He then took a 15-pound medicine ball and painted it to look just like a soccer ball. He tossed the medicine ball into the front yard of house number 1 and waited. When he saw the guy come out of the house, he yells, "Hey, Josh, can you kick that ball back over here?" Dude proceeds to take a running start and square up and kick the soccer ball with every ounce of strength he had. Poor bastard went down almost immediately in tears and screaming. Ended up breaking 3 bones in his right foot. Just brutal. My ex-friend thought it was a funny prank to kill my brother's hamster and tie it up and dress it in ridiculous ways. When I was a kid, somehow my classmates found it funny to piss in other people's cans of soda. I did not have a good childhood. I was once prank called by someone. A classmate presumably. And they told me they were going to kill my best friend who was in the same class as me. It was really fucking weird. The school never figured out who it was. They just asked if my friend had any enemies. Bro. We are 11. In 6th grade, one opened my locker and a note from the boy I had a crush on fell out saying he liked me too. A bunch of girls in my grade were there when I found it and were super happy for me. Or I thought they were. When I went to the boy to ask him about it, he said he didn't write it and the group of girls who were there when I found the note had written it. I turned around and sure enough they're laughing. But it crushed me. Not that the boy didn't like me back, but because I didn't think these girls I'd gone to school with since 1st grade were that mean. A couple weeks later, the group played a similar joke on one of the girls who was actually in on the prank against me. And I got a genuine apology from her after she realized how bad I must have felt. None of the other girls ever apologized. Edit. This comment blew up more than I thought it would, haha. Thank you for the awards. Much appreciated. Happened to me. Was at my first school dance in middle school. Was always the shy kid. So I was surprised when one of the popular chicks came to ask me to dance. I said no because I was shy. But I was elated that I got asked. A few minutes later I'm in the bathroom stall and a few kids come in and start talking about how they paid her $10 to ask me. And if I said yes, she would have just tripped me and made me look dumb. I never went to another dance all throughout middle and high school. Even prom. In high school, someone made a pipe bomb and sneakily threw it into a metal trash can. One of my friends unknowingly walked by when it exploded and blew out his eardrum. The trash can looked like a peeled banana afterward. That person was ratted out and expelled. Edit. Kid was arrested afterwards. Saw him 10 years later working at a car wash. All of this happened in 1997. I have no idea what radio station this was on as I was only a kid. But they used to do prank phone calls. I have little to no recollection of many of them except this one. As even as a kid I could tell it was just wrong. The radio host rang up a woman and advised that he was the manager of her husband's company and he was very sorry to tell her that he had been involved in an accident with some heavy machinery and it had resulted in his death. As you would expect, the woman was beside herself with being told her husband had just died. She was wailing on the phone and the radio host couldn't really get another word in to explain it was a joke. And then they just cut off the phone call and played a song. Even as a kid I knew it was a really stupid and cruel idea. And I'm pretty sure that was the last time they did a prank phone call. In high school, one of the cutest girls in my grade came up to me and told me she had a crush on me and wanted to go out on a date. I was skeptical because no one had ever asked me out before. But I was growing into my body pretty well and definitely more attractive than I was as an early teen, so I just figured puberty was doing some good work for me. We were 16-17s and had both just got our licenses, so she said she'd meet me at the movie theater and we'd go have dinner after the movie. I told my mom and she got all excited and helped me pick out an outfit and took pictures of me before my first ever date. Cringe AF, but you know how it goes. I went and got a haircut and my car detailed so it'd be rolling fresh. You know. And believe me, I was looking tasty. Fresh shave. Hair edged up sharp enough to cut glass. I was dripped out before the phrase even existed. So I show up at the theater a couple minutes early and I am waiting for her, and after like 15 minutes I think maybe I'll call her to make sure she didn't like have an emergency come up or something. We didn't have texting back then. So I call her and she answers on speakerphone and like 5 other girls are all laughing at me saying things like ha ha ha, he actually showed up. So yeah, it was all just a prank to hurt my feelings, jokes on me I guess. Edit. For everyone asking. I was 16 years old at the time and that was over 10 years ago. I am 29 now. So the wound has more than healed. As far as I know. The goal of the prank was literally just to see if I believed her in an effort to hurt my feelings as punishment for not being cool enough. I suppose. I am still not cool at all. But it works for me. Nerds are in fashion these days. Instead of going home I ended up seeing The Dark Knight by myself and, as you all know, that movie fucking slaps. By the time Heath Ledger was doing his Scars monologue I had forgot why I was upset. I then had dinner for one at Red Robin, which also was absolute fire. I think I got a jalapeno something or other burger. I told the waitress I got stood up and she told me I was very handsome, and I think about that compliment at least once a month. When I told mom what happened, she called the girl a stupid little cunt. Threatened to stab her. And then bought me a PS3. As far as I know. No stabbing took place. Last I remember. The girl in question ended up preggers and missed high school graduation. No idea where she is now. But hopefully she's become a better person and has a positive impact on those around her, and her son or daughter is happy and well raised. I've dated plenty of people since then and I am in a happy and healthy relationship now with proper communication and respect for each other. And she got a fat ass. The car was a 1992 Jeep Cherokee and it fucking sucks, but last I saw it, it still ran, and the guy I sold it to ended up modding it out for off-roading. So even the car got a good ending. This happened to me. 7th grade during Valentine's Day we had candy grams and cutesy stuff we could send to our friends, and obviously middle schoolers are sending them to their crushes. They would receive these candy grams during a class period as someone came by dropping them off. You could write a little message and then who it's from. I got one from this guy, friend I liked, and went up to him the next period and brought it up and said it was really cute and thanks. He looked a little confused but was like, no problem. I felt kind of dumb after that and walked away. Just to find out the next day that it was one of my friends who sent it to me and just put his name on it to make it seem like it was him. I mean, at least he was nice enough to go along with it because he was just as confused. Seen a video of two small girls. One told the other to look at the doorknob really close as it distorts your face. She then slammed the door right into her face, hitting her teeth. When they gave that raccoon the cotton candy. Bastards. My so-called friends had my mom drop me off at a mall and we hang out until nearing my bedtime. Mind you, this was back when there were pagers, for the generation that grew up with smartphones. Back before cell phones were something everyone had their used to be a pager. So I asked my friends when we are going back home cause my mom has talked to their mothers about someone dropping me off home. My parents both worked. Anyways, they decided to tell me that their mom will pick them up from this door and I should go ahead of them. They left and I was a 12-year-old lost kid in a mall with no parent. Luckily one of the male school bullies saw me and was like, "Oi nerd, what were you doing late?" And I just broke down crying. Kid just dropped the bullying and went, "Oi oi oi, what happened?" And according to my parents I just blabbered everything IJT and he told me to wait till he found a phone and paged my dad while calling his mom and telling her what happened. Needless to say they got a frantic father going, "What the hell happened?" And the girl said they told their mom that I saw my uncle and left with him. But to be honest, me and the bully became best of friends. Edit. My parents thought I was kidnapped when they called my uncle, who said he hasn't been on shift in that area. The first time I met my brother's new girlfriend, she pulled me aside and started crying. She told me that she was pregnant but my brother wasn't ready to tell anyone. She asked me to check up on him cause he was really nervous. A couple days go by and I texted her to see how she was doing and if my brother was doing okay and if they needed anything. She asked me what I was talking about. I said the baby. She replied, "Oh, you believed me. I was only joking. I'm not pregnant. I can't believe you fell for that." This wasn't some teenager either. She was approximately 30. Yes, I told my brother. Yes. He still ended up marrying her. Almost 10 years later I still refuse to trust her. Killing a farmer's cow is some sick joke. The cow was not a meat cow either, it was the farmer's beloved pet and he petted and fed it and played with the friendly cow each and every day. The farmer sued the kids who killed the cow and he 70,000 won and 20 kelvins for emotional upset. Stay winning kings. The cow was an old bull. It was the most friendly cow I have ever seen. It was not even neutered and had really big horns and loved sitting next to the farmer and just grazed next to him. Edit. The kids did not necessarily kill the cow, but forced the old bull to walk upstairs. Cows can walk upstairs, but their anatomy is not built for it and it's extremely painful for them to do so. The old bull broke its front left leg and bellowed in pain for 10 minutes. The farmer had no choice but to shoot and kill his own pet that he has had for the last 8 years right then and there on the stairs. The kids pled not guilty in court but they were forced to pay for it all. The bull was a Texas Longhorn. Common in some areas but rare where we both lived. It was really sad to see the bull gone from the farm. I was neighbors with the farmer and he would always invite me over to play with the animals and feed them and everything. The Daddy 05 YouTuber pranks. Those weren't pranks. They were child abuse. A friend of mine faked her suicide to get back at her boyfriend for April Fool's Day. I had helped her without knowing she was going that far. Her boyfriend had called her a slut and dumped her when she told him she was pregnant. Don't miss living in college dorms. Don't miss either of them. I put meatballs in the chute for the ice maker so when my roommate went to get some ice his glass filled up with meatballs. I don't know the person. And yet everybody knows the kid. But at my school, he'd unscrew the razors of handheld pencil sharpeners and then try to discreetly cut people's forearms and legs. What he'd been trying to accomplish is, and this is just twisted, make the people's parents think they'd be cutting themselves. Whenever the victim went to try and tell the teachers, they'd think the same thing. Shit went down when the person he'd been constantly targeting beat the shit out of him. Victim was put to juvie. He got out practically free. And now he uses needles to poke holes into people. He's not a phlebotomist. Or tattooist. Last I heard from high school. Incidents like the same happened. But with needles. Though. He's been way more discreet about it. Nobody knows who's doing it. Other than me. When I was in 8th grade a thing called turtling and zip-tying backpacks were popular. Well, one day early in the year on the bus ride home a kid decided to zip-tie a 6th grader's backpack to the leg of the chair which is welded to the floor. When he got up to leave and realized his backpack was stuck, he started panicking trying to get it undone and eventually had to leave the backpack, and he was stressing out saying his mom was going to freak out on him. He looked like he was about to cry. I don't have a specific example in my life. But I've always thought those fake lottery tickets are cruel. Those people think their life is going to change. And then it's all yanked away from them while people laugh. Same energy as when a parent gifts their kid something in the box for an iPad, Switch, something expensive and fancy. But it's really something shitty and lame inside. The entire joke is, haha, you thought your dreams were coming true. But then they didn't. Look at us. A bunch of kidders. To toy with your emotions like that. Saw a kid at high school cafeteria spend 20 minutes removing seeds from jalapenos and chopping up the seeds until he had a handful. He walked over to a different table and threw the handful of sliced up seeds into the eyes, face of another kid. I remember seeing a video where they switched the pregnancy test to a fake positive one on their friend, struggling with infertility. Fucked up. My friend stole my brand new set of Copics and switched all the caps. It ruined some of the markers because of color bleeding. I retaliated by dumping glitter in his backpack. An entire little container. Needless to say, we don't talk anymore. Edit. Thank you for the wholesome award. But also why? Edit 2 BC. I just remembered another detail. He switched the caps the first time. The second time, he switched caps. And even some of the tips. Best part? A teacher watched him do it. And said nothing. Though, she did warn him I would definitely get revenge. Well, I ended up with a referral for that glitter, and when talking to the principal, I told her what he'd done, adding in that he also stole my school ID for more than 2 days, and he got a referral too. Our detention together was amazing. Also forgot to mention he sexually harassed me a couple times. BC I'm gay and he thinks that's hot. Anyways SS. A group of friends got together and one of the usuals, let's call him Eddie, didn't make it. Eddie texts asking what they're up to and they sarcastically respond celebrating your birthday without you. Lo and behold. It was coincidentally Eddie's birthday weekend and he had no birthday plans. Upon realizing this, the group bought and decorated a cake that read Happy Birthday Eddie and staged a series of fake birthday party photos to make him think they forgot to invite him to his own party. To keep the prank going, they dropped off the smashed, leftover cake on his doorstep. He still hasn't found out, so they keep making elaborate stories as to why they forgot to invite him. Edit. Spelling. Also, this isn't my squad and I don't know Eddie, so this is all word of mouth, but last I heard, it's unclear if he knows of the situation, and the group paid him back, with a block of expensive cheese in his mailbox marked Happy Birthday Eddie. I remember when the ALS challenge was popular, I read an article about a prank played on a special needs high schooler. These kids told him it was just water in the bucket. But it was also piss. Cigarette butts. All sorts of disgusting shit. Then they put the video all over the internet. As though the bucket wasn't enough. My brother gave my phone number to some rondo, who proceeded to call me at all hours and threatened to rape me. A group of students in my high school wrote up and passed around an unofficial page of senior superlatives before graduation. The popular kids got named neutral, good things like, most likely to own a tech company, or, first to get $1 million. Unpopular kids got, ugliest, or, most likely to die in prison, or, most cowardly. I was, most unfuckable. In hindsight, I'm not sure if it really was a prank or just a bunch of really mean-spirited people. Edit. To those asking, I got sexually assaulted in college, but I've never had consensual sex. Maybe it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm older than you probably think. I've worked hard and gained a modest level of success through my career. Don't know if a relationship will ever happen for me. Edit 2. Clenched fist to everyone who catches the chemistry reference. Edit 3. I do hope to have a relationship someday. It's a strange and scary idea for me, yes. I tend to build emotional walls and not put myself out there as a result of this. Yes, I've had therapy. I really do have a good life, I have friends. A decent career. I travel a lot. I'm not confident enough for online dating, I've tried it, and otherwise I'm just trying to live the best life I can. I may have conducted the most cruel prank without even meaning to. While in high school once a month or so there was a half day on a Friday. It was posted and scheduled in advance. My friend and I liked to remind each other in the halls loudly that it was half-day. When it wasn't the right week. People would get excited and happy, then after lunch they'd see me and remind me that I was an asshole for getting their hopes up. Priceless and a harmless prank. One week we did this and I guess the right people overheard. A few kids' parents were bus drivers. They called their parents to remind them it was a half-day. Somehow it snowballed and at 11:30 buses had parked out front of every school in the district and they had to cancel the other half of the day because the bus service drivers were pissed to find out they had to cancel their plans for no reason. Principal called me and my friend to the office and said he knows it's our fault. But no one fact-checked it and so it wasn't really our fault. He smiled and sent us on our way to enjoy our half-day. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about future videos. Now check out one of these interesting videos.